Marshall skips away. Marshall skips away. Marshall's still going. Marshall's got Richards coming up outside. Now inside.
Arsenal have gone through an entire league campaign without losing.
Bennett and the Dragons win the grand final.
Whips that one away, and Kane Williamson and his team now World Test champions.
Welcome back to another episode of the TGIF podcast. Thank God it's footy. What a week, for the footy fan. We've seen the kick-off of the pre-season challenge as we speak, as we record.
It's back, yep.
Half time.
We've got it on there in the background. How good. It seems like it's not been too short of a turnaround, really.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about what's gone on in terms of the cricket and football, the darts, it's been keeping us entertained through the off-season.
There's been plenty on.
Plenty of juicy signings, I feel, this off-season. Obviously, Luai springs to mind immediately. But yeah, definitely a decent off-season. Hasn't felt like it's been too long, hasn't felt like it's dragged. Even though it is, a few months since we saw that Four Nations Pacific Championship wrap up.
It does. It doesn't feel like it's been too long at all. I'm guessing this must have been a year ago today that we went to that trial match, possibly. Well, maybe not a year ago today, but about a year ago this time, because I believe it was on a weeknight that we went along. So it's a bit of a shame. Could have been there again with us playing the Wires this weekend, but unfortunately down there in Chicha, giving some of the South Islanders a bit of Warriors action, which I guess is well deserved. So but good to see the Tigers. The Tigers love coming over here to New Zealand. Plenty of fans over here. So currently down marauding away in Queenstown on the shot of the jet. I saw.
Yeah.
And then obviously they'll be making their way over to Christchurch there for Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of the Warriors, I guess it's probably a good year for them to spread the games out. I guess the Mount Smart faithful would be a little bit gutted about that, but a good year to spread it out off the back of obviously all the hype from last year. Good on the Tigers for getting involved in a few of the Queenstown activities.
Yeah, good on them.
Must have been a bucket list thing, or I don't know if they did some sort of promo work down there, or they've got some relationship. But
who knows? I know that's just where they went to train, but maybe just Benji being a Kiwi, just wanting to get the lads involved, you know.
Few rounds at Jack's Point for Benji. I know he's a pretty handy golfer.
I'm sure they probably will get out for a hit of some sort, maybe even just at a range or something like that. There'll be plenty of nice ranges at courses out there, and I'm
plenty of beautiful courses.
Sure they'll all be happy for Benji to bring the lads through. Good for them as well, because they're being slandered at the moment by our old mate Nofaluma, he's just signed over in the UK now. Was it Salford, I believe?
Salford, yeah.
For. But he's been slandering the Tigs in the media, so good for them to get out and have a little bit of fun.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, the Tigers probably don't help themselves.
Not at all.
It's. I mean, you probably want to keep your mouth shut if you're David Nofaluma in that situation, but you also there's no nothing that screams out from what he said that seems to be a lie.
He's kind of said what we'd always said, you know, that he can't do it all by himself.
He can't do it all by himself. Obviously, he's like, it's a big call to be going around saying that if you're not sort of a top 10 individual player, but
I think if you look at the amount of tries, there was that one season where he seemed to be the only person sort of doing anything.
Look, he was that close to getting a New South Wales call up in heaps of people's mind, I reckon. So, look, a little bit of a, I guess, slip through the fingers for the NRL. I think plenty of sides could have done well with a little bit of Noffa, but
I'm sure
I
he'll
guess
go
for the
over
Tigers,
and score 30 tries or so probably.
Yeah, I think it'll be a piece of cake for him. Over there, 1 year deal, so whether or not we see him return back to the Australian shores,
who knows?
just waiting for someone to free up a bit of cap space potentially. It was quite a late release. You think most clubs sort of have their squads sorted pretty early.
Yeah.
Maybe a few pieces, towards the squad rotation slot in throughout the summer, but apart from the Dragons and Tigers, doesn't seem to be too many people making signings late in the window.
Yeah, it seems to be the case though for the teams down the lower end.
basket case
maybe
clubs.
having to wait that little bit longer to lock someone in.
Convince them a little bit longer.
Yeah.
You give yourself a 3-week buffer to convince a player to sign for a shit club compared to Penrith or the Roosters or
We're
Melbourne.
snapping it at the heels to come on and join. Another ex-Tiger there, Brooksy, over the weekend now. 3 try assists, I think it was, in the first half. Seemed to have his name all over everything in that trial game there. Obviously only a trial, and it's even pre-season, I guess, if you look at it like that. So you can't go off it too much, but pretty good.
Yeah, didn't actually catch any of the trial match action, to be honest. A few clips here and there on Instagram, but Brooksy seems to be the talk of the town.
Brooksvale Oval, I think,
from last weekend.
Calling it.
Yeah, look, 68-4, I think. He had his hands over a lot of that, so yeah, good on him. But as you say, pre-season, taken on by all reports a little bit of a reserve grade Rabbitohs side there. So I think we said it as soon as he signed it. It was going to be a good signing, and he should go in there and slot in
nicely with DCE.
Yeah, under the tutelage of DCE. You got the option of Tommy, if he's fit, out the back as the third option. So yeah, plenty of positive signs for Brooksy. So good on him, I suppose, but a little bit bittersweet for a Tigers fan.
I'm happy to see him out there playing some footy. Hopefully stress-free.
Let's hope it benefits both parties. We get a good season from Tigers, and Brooksy goes out there and plays well for Manly, I suppose. Wouldn't mind seeing it. Manly, they've slowly changed from a team when I was a Grom that I just fucking hated to a team that's a little bit likeable, like a sort of second team.
Yeah, I can sort of love it a little bit.
The Trebojevic boys are well liked. DCE, obviously, things have calmed down since the old switcheroo he pulled on the Titans. Lots of people just sort of recognising him a bit more as a legend. Now that he's sort of in the later stages of his career, pulled off a few crazy things for Queensland and Manly over the years. So pretty likeable team, I reckon.
They've had some legends over the years. There's no doubt about it, Manly. I don't know if I'd be calling that mine. Yeah, I think you've got to
not
shout
a
out
second
Jay.
team, but like
You got to have a little bit of an affinity towards them, I guess.
I've got a bit of a soft spot for the Tigers, obviously.
Yeah, same with the Drakes. We both battle it out.
It would probably change if you were up the top of the table. If you were Penrith and celebrating three
on the trot
on the bounce, I would be definitely not rooting for the Tigers in most games that I watch them. But yeah, look, Manly. I think Brooksy helps that a bit.
Yep.
I'd like to see Brooksy go well. Obviously, heaps of hype coming through, and the last one of the big four to lead the
big
Tigers.
Four officially all cleared
done and
out.
dusted.
Yeah, so it's the new.
It's all on
age.
Buller's shoulders now.
All on
And
Buller.
Luai when he gets there.
Buller and Benji. Bradman Best. He's gone out and re-signed there with the Knights for a few more years. What is that, 2027?
Yeah, 3-year deal, I believe, extension. So whether or not he's cashed in on that Origin debut that sort of took the rugby league world by storm. But yeah, good signing for Newcastle. He's turning into a hell of a player.
Handy player to keep hold of. Yeah, a good impact player. One of those dudes that we talked about before, and an individual sort of game player. He can do a bit of it on his own, you know, which is always handy to have a player like that can sort of change the game.
Just pass him the ball, here you go, son. Do something with it.
So yeah, it's a very handy player to keep down there at Newcastle.
100%. I see you've got the Tigers taking out the dub this weekend.
Yeah, 26-12. That's my thinking. We go out there.
A little bit of a weekend Warriors
side, a fairly strong looking Tigers side. A couple of players I haven't heard about. Good to see Lachlan Galvin there getting the start at 6. Now he's first year out of high school. Young bloke, awesome footy player. So hopefully we can see something good out of him. And it's looking. I think it's him and Caesar.
Aiden Caesar, yeah. Look, last game in the NRL for him was a grand final. So.
What, 4 years? I think
3 or 4 years ago, but
in the Super League. So yeah, he'll be raring to get back into a little bit of NRL action. And
obviously, we don't want to, see the same situation with him leaving the club after going so well. But fingers crossed for a similar situation to old Jacko Hastings. Come in from the Super League, steer the side around, get some real good form, having got that confidence under your belt.
Yeah,
actually.
And then we can see Galvin and Luai possibly play together. Who knows? But 26-12, Tigers take the dub. We've got to think positively, don't we, to start off? So
high hopes to start the season as always.
Yeah, well and truly, and seeing a slightly weaker WAS team named, had to be done.
I haven't seen these team lists for the Charity Shield.
Now, when's that kick off? Saturday, is it?
Saturday night. It's a lady.
Sloan.
I have seen our lineup actually. No Mitchell. No Walker. Obviously, because they're in the All Stars on Thursday, I guess.
Tom Bison, Jaden Stewart, Jack.
The old no photo.
Yeah, the incoming player.
So the Dragons have sort of, I don't know.
I think
too many. Obviously, we've got Tuipulotu could slot in there. Lomax on the wing, as I predicted.
That's
a bit weird. Not as I predicted, as I heard. It's a buzzy one. But you got Jack Bird and Moses Sully in the centres there. Jack Bird won a premiership at centre under Flano, so potentially why he's done it there. Eisenhuth comes in to take his spot on the back row. And you got what? Two.
There you go. You've got a big extended bench as well, obviously. So probably.
Can you start as many as you want in this preseason?
Pretty sure it's unlimited interchange.
Yeah.
So handy thing to have up your sleeve, but
it'll be our only chance at silverware this year, I reckon. I just spoke about having high hopes, but realistically, I don't see the Dragons challenging for the big ones with the likes of
not anything metallic, possibly the old wooden spoon.
Yeah, that's the more likely.
Could be up for grabs. But yeah, Charity Shield kicking off this Saturday, and then the big game of the round, you're going to call it. Sunday, 4 p.m. kickoff down in Christchurch. A little bit of round ball action now. What a result!
Hell of a week to be an Arsenal fan.
We were saying we needed to bounce back from 2 losses that we'd already had this season against West Ham. 6 goals, a clean sheet, first a game in a long time where I've seen us go out there and maybe Palace, you could say. But first game I've seen we've gone out and put a team to bed. Palace we had the 2 late goals, obviously, so maybe not, 3-0 from us in the game, that one there, but to go out 3-0 3 goals inside 4 minutes just before the half. Unreal.
Yeah, it was crazy. Blink and you miss this sort of stuff. Or maybe go up and take a piss and come back and it's 3-0, 4-0. Yeah, 6-0. Hell of a day out. Saka scoring his 50th goal for Arsenal. Becoming the youngest bloke in about 40 odd years to do so. So, hell of an achievement for him. Fingers crossed he keeps on breaking these records. Yeah, look, plenty of talk about missing out on a striker, but 6-0. You got Gabriel, who's the highest scoring defender in the Premier League.
Gabriel getting the goal, Saliba getting the goal, Declan Rice, the anchor of the midfield, after being booed all game. Right from the start, right from kickoff, the Hammers fans are booing him, which is, I think it's a little bit of a rash one there. The doggies are away, the doggies are away. And he's definitely been held up, he hasn't got that one down. But yeah, real good finish from Dickie there. So yeah, I don't know who does need a striker. I see that Brentford have actually signed a Igor Thiago Igor, possibly his name, striker from Club Brugge there for next season. So whether or not that's
gearing up
for Tony to leave.
Tony's departure.
But also quite a lot of talk I've seen. I don't know if you can call it talk or something like those fried articles. Saying that Mbappe has said he'd come and join Arsenal because of Thierry Henry.
Yeah, he'd want to emulate Henry. So
I mean, you look at it, both starting out there at Monaco, making their big move to a big club, obviously.
Big European club.
He's gone to PSG. Henry's gone to Juve.
Yeah.
Juve at the time, one of the biggest teams in Europe.
Won the World Cup.
Yep. Off you go. Off
Come
you
to
go.
Arsenal.
Off you go to the Premier League, take on him.
Sorry, Eddie and Kedia, do you want a new number?
See you later, mate. Like,
Or I don't know, would Saka give up his 7? Mbappe wears 7.
if Mbappe came to Arsenal, he'd take the 14. He'd have to. But that would be unreal. But I've also seen there that we don't want to break our
wage structure. Yeah, you probably have to pay him like
to bring him in.
£1 million a week.
Yeah,
at least he'd be on, and the rest.
Something outrageous. But he'd come in and he'd win you a couple of titles, I'd say. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it would be awesome to see. Haaland and Mbappe
That
rivalry in the same league as well.
Odegaard and Saka and Martinelli
generation.
setting up someone like Mbappe. It'd be awesome. Good to see Ranieri getting on off the bench now. Obviously made his debut there. We probably nearly under a year ago since we saw him come off the bench there. But the talk of the town is that Jorginho, who's been doing his coaching badges, he's got his UEFA B coaching license, I believe.
Okay.
He is the fellow responsible for getting Arteta to bring him on, and he came on and played really well, I thought. Got himself quite involved in the game.
Yeah, he was close to getting a couple of assists. For,
a couple of very good passes. But yeah, came on, and we also had another bloke on the bench. I'd never heard of him. Portuguese fella. I didn't know we had
I
any
missed
other.
the bench, to be honest. I
didn't know we had any other Portuguese players on our books apart from Vieira and Cedric.
Yeah, to be fair, Nwaneri might have been a little bit, obviously maybe not for Arsenal fans, of a forgotten man, but Cedric. Speaking of forgotten men, plenty of people would have forgotten that he was still at Arsenal, I reckon.
Him getting an appearance as well.
And then he came on for a little bit.
Mauro Bandeira.
Mauro Bandeira.
I've never heard of him, never seen him before.
Okay, 22 followers.
Yeah, that's unfortunately, yeah.
That's obviously...
Supposedly, we're going to see at some stage, I don't know when it was, but we could see an injury-free squad at some stage soon.
Okay.
I don't know if that means that Timber's back in training. Or
Timber's back in training.
He's back in training.
I think Arteta was saying it's sort of up in the air as to how long it takes him to get back to match fitness.
Yeah.
But that was like a month ago, so you never know. What was he? ACL in June.
Yeah, it'd be
July.
July, I'd say.
So
Yeah,
it'd be coming up on like 7 odd months.
yeah, so probably not too far away.
You know, we may see him feature for a couple of months towards the end of the season. But
Probably not this weekend, I would imagine.
no,
Burnley
nah.
away at Turf Moor, a Champions League game obviously on the horizon as well. Possibly one of the games where we see a slightly rotated squad. This one here, the turnaround is probably long enough. I think with us playing on the Thursday our time, Wednesday over there. Is this a drive
away from Melbourne?
Possibly enough for most players to play both games, but we may see a few changes. Obviously, Burnley sitting down there near the bottom of the table, not playing their best football that we've seen of them.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, it's obviously like a huge step up from Championship to.
I thought
Premier League.
Company might be able to bring a bit of a spark into it, though. You know, he's
They
obviously
haven't really seemed to have changed their tactics very much, and
No.
yeah, it doesn't tend to work when you've got a budget of a couple $100 million up against teams that.
I think they've struggled to replace Chris Wood.
Yeah, I mean, last year they were fucking awesome. They breezed through the Championship.
But in terms of the Premier, they haven't had someone to be able to score the goals. You know?
Yeah, that's the thing, and they also they're just a bit open as well. They tend to ship a few goals when they do, especially come up against those big sides. 3 against City, 3 against Liverpool.
Ideal opportunity for us to continue the goal scoring form. Then, you know, it'd be really good to be able to continue that, try and up that goal difference a little bit more. You know, if we can go out there and be 3 or 4-0 up at half time again, rest a few legs and you know get into that Champions League game in the midweek and have a fairly fresh looking squad.
Yeah, fingers crossed we can get through this one with a good half-time lead again, 4-0. Wouldn't say no to anything like that. Yeah, chuck a few lads feet up for that second half and get ready for
Get a bit of Nwaneri involved again, maybe. Yeah, but yeah, Porto off to Portugal after the Burnley game, first game back in the Champions League. You'd like to think we can go out there, get a win. Obviously, a bit like this Burnley game, you don't know who's going to be involved. Most likely,
I'd like to say it would probably be like, you might see a few guys rotate. Like
do we
you
see
might
Rammers?
You might see Rammers. You might see like Zinchenko and left back at one game, and
Well,
then
he's
supposedly injured.
he's still injured. Well, that's why Zinchenko. Oh,
You got him.
I had him. I didn't go for the grab. I kind of went for the hit.
Yeah. These flies are a bit shunty.
But out this way.
Yeah, I don't know if they just get in here and they
He's still
dying. Maybe this guy is a bit slow and old. But anyway, back to the footy. Yeah, look, I'd like to think Arteta picks that back four, maybe one change there on the wing back. Midfield 3, you'd probably think it goes very similar.
Yeah.
Both games. Maybe a Havertz one game, Trossard the next. Maybe a Smith Rowe involved, and then that front 3. Havertz has obviously played very well the last couple of games. Not sure if Jesus is back or not, but I think based on what Arteta's done so far in the Champions League, he's probably going to go 9 or 10 of the same players and maybe change
Maybe
one
a
or
couple
two.
of little changes, possibly. Yeah. Interesting though. Yeah, whether or not we do see Ramsdale play in either
like
of
to see
these next couple of games, possibly we see him involved in one of them. It would be good to see. But yeah, whether or not Arteta wants to make a change, we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, it'd be good to have a decent run in the Champions League this time around.
Yeah, look, it's obviously been our hiccup for how many times now have we gone out in a row and the round of 16, like 5 or 6, or maybe it's more than that.
So this, I don't know what it is, but it's been a very while since we've had some success.
Yeah, we haven't been in the Champions League for like 4 or 5 years now.
So with Bayern losing this morning to Lazio, it would be, it's an ideal way possibly for us making it far by being able to avoid Bayern. So hopefully we come at you next week with 2 wins, 3 points in the league, maybe a 2-goal cushion coming back to the Emirates for the second leg there against Porto, and we can continue to ride on a little bit of this form, fingers crossed.
Yeah, 100%. It's been going well so far. Touch wood, we can keep it up for an Arsenal fan at least. Probably it in terms of the arse. A little bit of cricket action over the last few days.
Games moving along quickly. So, back to that old 4-day test argument that the ICC popped up the other day. 3 scores so far under 250, I believe, all out.
Are they out again? Are they all out?
Yeah, and then I think we're 1 for 40 in the response.
Oh, wow.
So chasing about 250, 260, so definitely doable if we
can back up our
back well
ideas.
tomorrow.
Shout out, was it Van der Swart, I think? Bigger bloke there for South Africa on debut at 37, I think it was. He had a bit of meat on him. He's played a few games of cricket over his time, I would imagine, at the ripe old age of 37. But it's a shout out to him. Obviously, they're putting in the work there. South Africa coming in a bit of a shock, I think. Bowling us out how they did.
Yeah, 100%. Definitely was picking another big win for the Black Caps. Yeah, to be honest, I haven't really seen a hell of a lot of it, but I've seen Will O'Rourke has picked up the best ever figures for New Zealand on Test debut.
Doggies are in.
Doggies are in again.
Doggies are in. 14-12. Kick to come from the sideline. Interesting. Best ever debut bowling figures.
Yeah.
Wow, that's not bad.
9 for 80 odd across the 2 innings. 5 for in the second.
Yeah, good
4
on
in the first. So, yeah.
We also got to see, I think it would have Neil Wagner involved in this test as well, coming in for Santner, I believe. But at risk of choking after that big win in that first test, so fingers crossed we get out there tomorrow.
Yeah, we want to keep that lead at the top of the World Test Championship table up. We've got Aussie coming over to play us next, so definitely an increase in competition.
Yeah,
don't know.
No doubt about
if they're going to be sort of pulling a South Africa on us and naming a B team, but it's going to be tough going up against the likes of Pat Cummins and all of those blokes.
Definitely a bit more.
Fingers crossed we can get it done tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. A bit more to deal with there with Aussie, but probably in terms of the old bat and ball now. Been plenty of action at the Oki over the last week or so now. Unfortunately, we didn't bring you a King of the Oki bet last week. Nothing reeled in. I think I was done in the first game. MVG nearly coming out and losing. I think he went 4-0 down and coming back to win it, but I believe it was against the Asp. And the Asp taking 5 180s to his 3, I think it was, in that first game. But didn't stop the MVG going out and taking out week 2, beating Luke Littler in the final. I believe that makes it 2-1 now with MVG versus Littler. We've had a bit of Players' Championship action. Obviously, the first 2 Players' Championship of the year. We've seen, I don't know how many dartists, 256 I think it is.
Dartists?
I guess so. Over the last, 2 days or so. A little bit of drama there. Old Gezzy pulling out of a game at 4-2 down to Brendan Dolan, saying that the conditions were amateur-like. And he didn't go again there on the second day. Michael Smith also posting saying that the conditions were terrible. So quite a weird one, I think, when you play at that level.
That's bizarre.
It's definitely it's like a step down. You've got plenty of boards, and they've only got 4 boards that are televised or streamed or whatever. But we were seeing Ryan Heavy Metal Searle taken out, taking it all the way to both finals of both days, but unfortunately losing to Littler on day 1 and then losing to Gary Anderson on day 2 there. Now, played some awesome darts over the 2 days, but not able to take the win in either final. Shout out to Littler being the youngest ever. Actually, shout out to 2 blokes. Now, I can't remember the name of this other fella. Another new young dude, not as young as Littler, but he became the youngest player to get a 9 data in the Players' Championship at about 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock their time, and I think it was only about 59 minutes later that Littler then went out and had his 9 data to break that record. Nothing for Hopes, unfortunately. 2 first-round losses for him, but good for him to get out there, get a bit of experience underway. He also went out and played this morning our time, or sort of late last night, in the first European Tour card qualifier thing. There's about 80, I think, that played, and there's 10 spots, and it's for a spot. I don't know what the Belgian darts opens, some sort of European Tour open, and unfortunately, I think he lost there in the top 40. So, but a little bit of time to acclimatise. I'm sure he'll get out there and get a couple of wins under his belt, and we'll hopefully see him making it to like the latter stages of one of these players championships, coming up against a Littler or something like that, which would be cool to see. But we are back into our Premier League action tomorrow morning now. I have got you a King of the Yoki. Nothing too overly extravagant this time around, really. The odds were very low on a couple of these. I've got Michael Smith to beat Rob Cross. I think it was $3 something. Rob Cross coming in at 9. I was very tempted to go for Robbie there, but I've gone for Smith. MVG to beat Peter Wright, huge favourite there. That wasn't paying much. Humphreys to beat the Asp, and then Littler to beat Gezzy, also a similar situation to the MVG one. Paying $94.83 with the price boost. So what's that? $948.30 return of a $10 bet. So not going to get you to Rarotonga.
You don't turn your nose up.
You don't turn your nose up at it. No way.
It's a hectic multi, but
I'll be keeping my eyes on it tomorrow morning, throughout the morning, seeing whether there's maybe a cash out possibility along the way. I'd take $30, you know. From that first game there, $35 from Smith doing it, you know. I'd happily take that, but probably wraps us up for another week, another short one until we get into a little bit more of the footy. But as always, if you've made it this far, thank you for tuning in, getting involved, whoever you may be. Remember to give us a like, a 5-star, a comment, give us a subscription on all your socials. Enjoy your week ahead, enjoy your first decent taste of pre-season footy.
yeah, it's back, baby.
Doggies coming in to finish us off here, 14-12 with 20 to go. If you're having a punt, do so responsibly, and hopefully we'll see you here next week.
Yeah, that sounds good to me. We'll see you then.
Ciao.
Marshall skips away. Marshall's still going. Marshall's got Richards coming up outside. Now inside.
Arsenal have gone through an entire league campaign without losing.
Bennett and the Dragons win the grand final.
Whips that one away, and Kane Williamson and his team now World Test champions.